Hi, good afternoon. I'm Catherine Smith with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Today, the Homeland Security is announcing that President Barack Obama has declared an emergency in 21 states. The President has ordered federal aid to supplement state and local response efforts for a vaccine flu released in September 2014, which mutated into a deadly injection. The discovery was made after thousands of reports were made to the CDC of the mysterious disease, which through epidemiology was then traced to the mutated vaccine batch. This particular vaccine manufactured and distributed the vaccine to states within the Northeast and Midwest regions of the nation. Half of the doses of the synthetic vaccine have been found to mutate within contact with the body T cells within 30 days of the injection, cause severe acute issues that start off with vomiting, diarrhea, high fever, and headache. Within 3 to 5 days after these initial symptoms, the mutated vaccine then attacks the nervous system and causes paralysis and/or death. Paralysis was seen in over 256,000 cases spread over the states between 3 to 5 initial symptoms. Death was seen in 54,000 cases on or either day of 5th and 6th of the initial symptoms. Not all who were paralyzed died, but remained paralyzed or in comatose state. Bioterrorism was not yet ruled out in this case. The President's actions authorized FEMA to coordinate all disaster relief with the CDC, the FDA, and HRS, which have the purpose of eliminating the hardship and suffering caused of the emergency on the local population to provide appropriate assistance for required emergency measures authorized under Title V of the Stanford Act to save lives, protect property, public health and safety, and lessen and avert the threat of a catastrophe. Specifically, FEMA is authorized to withdraw any remaining vaccines from September. They will provide the CDC with resources for research of the outbreak to narrow down the agent for genetic and antigenic and antiviral-resistant analysis. At this time, there is no counteractive drug available yet, but the CDC diligently is working on it. This will have more detail when the remaining vaccines arrive in the next day, that being December the 16th. FEMA will deploy federal medical stations as available to provide health care to outpouring area capacities in some of the hardest hit areas. More importantly, FEMA will implement surveillance and control measures to isolate cases and quarantine and contacts. Antiviral drug treatment prophylaxis at the point of entry to decrease the introduction and spread of the pandemic virus in the United States. Prioritizing this delivery of vaccines affected government and medical professionals, and design a strategy for vaccines to be distributed once it is known. FEMA will then provide 75% of federal funding for hard-hit affected states. FEMA has also selected Michael J. Hall as the Federal Coordinating Officer for Federal Recovery and Operations in affected areas. Nevertheless, people in the United States continue to get diseases that are vaccine preventable. Viral hepatitis, influenza, and TB remain among the leading causes of illness and death in the United States and account for substantial spending on the related consequence of infection. The public must, however, continue to utilize preventable vaccines in efforts to control the spread of infectious disease. The United States, like all other countries, faces many threats with potential and large-scale health consequences, including diseases and outbreaks and natural disasters and terroristic attacks. The public health care and emergency response system must be prepared to mitigate morbidity and mortality associated with these threats. Securing the nation's health is a formidable task and is shared responsibility for virtually all parts of society. The public infrastructure is fundamental to the provision and execution of public health services at all levels. A strong infrastructure provides the capacity to prepare for and respond to both acute emergencies and chronic ongoing threats in the nation's health.